Hello Internet and welcome to this day in history for the 22nd of November. Where are we today? Well, it's quite obvious where we are today. We are in Texas. We are in Dallas, as a matter of fact, because it was, of course, in this day in history in 1963 that President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And, of course, almost immediately after, Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as President of the United States. Of course, this is one of those things that has gripped the world, and especially the Western world, like almost nothing else. It's of course not the first time an American president had been assassinated, and it was hardly even the first time it had been done in such a public fashion. What was the first time, however, was that it was the first time something like that had been done in the public mass media era, so everyone could see the movie. Everyone in the Western world, I would assume, have at one point or another seen the film clip of John F. Kennedy, either just before the assassination, or after the assassination, or hell, even during the assassination. So very few events have to that degree gripped the Western conscience quite like this event. In fact, one of the reasons I believe John F. Kennedy is held to such an amazingly high degree today is probably because he was assassinated, since up until that point, if you actually examine his records, he wasn't a particularly successful president, to be completely honest. His people had allowed the Cuba crisis to escalate way beyond what was originally considered, and he was fleeced in the Helsinki summit with Nikolai Khrushchev at the beginning. He was, of course, starting to show some of the promise that everyone knew he had, but there is very little doubt that, like with Obama's Nobel Peace Prize some 40-odd years later, a lot of the, shall we say, reverence for John F. Kennedy had to do with the fact that he was young, good-looking, and could capture the sort of spirit and excitement of a certain generation, rather than his actual accomplishments, while also being one of a dynasty of the most ruthless politicos in American history. However, this is not really what I want to talk about, not even the conspiracy theories surrounding the event. Of course, a lot of those can simply be excused by, as I said, it gripped the public's imagination far more than almost anything else, because it was the first time the great amount of people had actually seen such an event take place in real life, and Kennedy was a subject of a certain degree of personality cult. What I want to talk about is it was at the same day that Aldous Huxley and C.S. Lewis also died. Now, John F. Kennedy will get his accolades today, and I'm sure he deserves most of them, even if perhaps some of them will go a little bit overboard from time to time, such as those things go. Huxley and C.S. Lewis, however, are usually forgotten on this day, and since both of them were phenomenal and important authors who have at least, if not shaped my way of thinking, then at least shaped my literary development, I wanted to give them their due. We remember John F. Kennedy, and he deserves it. He was the President of the United States of America, and he was on his way to possibly become one of the better-than-average presidents of the United States, even if he hadn't showed it. But Huxley and Lewis were writers of top world class, and they have influenced with their writings and with their thoughts more people probably than John F. Kennedy actually managed to do in real life, until the moment someone put a bullet through his brain. So yes, this day in history for the 22nd of November, 1963, the deaths of John F. Kennedy, Aldous Huxley, and C.S. Lewis, and my particular paying of tribute to the last two. Lewis, a man who managed to at least make me think somewhat positively about the concept of religion and Christianity, despite my otherwise rather staunch agnosticism, and Aldous Huxley, a man who had a lot more to say about where society is going today than I think most people realize, since I don't know if he's being read very much anymore. But anyway, I hope this has been of interest to you. Until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish you all a very happy day.